Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DROPKIXX. I'm the mysterious disembodied voice of wrestling, taking you back to April Ilfordmania, a match between Mountain Stew and Frank Hale. With me at my side, the fabulous Lucas Jackson, and about to enter the ring, Mountain Stew.
Here comes Mountain Stew. He was, of course, the Cruiser Weight champion of Europe at the time of this match. Looking back at his extraordinary reign today, as he's the first ever two-time Cruiser Weight champion. He beat John the Don Ritchie back at our first Brentwood show back in September last year. He then lost the belt to Dan Earls of Big Zoros, but won it back in a fantastic match at Brentwood back in February of this year. And this is one of his, I believe, his first title defences that he had with this belt. And we're going to have a look at this match. And we'll talk a lot about Mountain Stew and, of course, a lot about the other cruiserweights.
Let's have his opponent out, please.
And here we have Fantastic Frank Hale about to make his way to the ring.
Fantastic Frank's been around the dropkick scene for quite some time now. He knows his stuff in the ring, and he's had a mixed success in the sense that he's been able to beat some of the cruiserweights and beat some of the heavyweights. But what he really needs to do in 2013 is take a focus, make a goal, make himself a goal for himself, or whether he wants to become the Cruiserweight champion, whether he wants to look perhaps to form a tag team to become a tag team champion, or even challenge one day perhaps for that heavyweight prize, held of course by the fantastic Laser Magnet.
Well, he's certainly a very talented wrestler, and he could go on for so much more.
Introducing first the current and reigning DROPKIXX European Cruiserweight champion from the Rocky Mountains of Kent. I give to you, Mountain Stew!
It was a good reception from Mountain Stew in Ilford.
And his opponent from just up the road, Romford in Essex. I give to you, Fantastic Frank Hale!
Now, it has to be said, Frank, they're taking it very well, because he's used to a much better reaction than that. But anyone that goes up against Mountain Stew, the fans are so keen on that boy.
Yeah, I mean, that's another reason why we've been able to keep that belt for so long. I believe the fan support does help in that respect. And, you know, he is great in that ring, I must admit, you know.
It does drive him, but even on the night this was recorded, he would have already been looking over his shoulder for future challengers.
Of course.
On that very night, they'd had a #1 contender match, which was Mark Hendry versus the Tiger Kid.
And that match was, of course, won controversially, albeit by Mark Hendry. And at the moment, they just put each other out, these two guys. I think they've had a match previous to this, which Stu was successful in also. But I think this is a case of kind of Stu trying to make a point, because obviously he is the champion. He knows he has no challenges after him. As you know, he's now taking Frank up into a waist lock here from behind.
Well, Frank also having a point to make. The point being, in his case, he wants that belt.
He not only wants that belt, but probably that victory back as well. Because I think a loss to someone, and then you go so soon into having a rematch with them, you want to make a point to beat that person again. And there's been a nice head scissors applied by Frank Hale.
Shows his flexibility. Stu coming round, pulls himself out and into a headlock there.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's a front headlock as well. Referee, of course, keen to watch the throat here, but he is on the ropes. And Stu, being the champion that he is, he does relinquish that straight away.
Frank knowing exactly where he is, exactly the quickest way out to the hold. Going for one of these strength tests here. Frank not waiting. Frank making the most of the grip there.
Straight into a wrist lock. I've said this several times, I believe, in this commentary desk. The wrist lock is not a move you want to be in for a long amount of time. And Stu just reversed that, but Frank's straight back out of it. And he's back into reverse of himself. And there we are. Now Stu, all that pressure you see being applied to the shoulder joint, and see Stu there now, a fireman's carry. Thought we were going to go to the cover there. Don't know how wise that would have been, because these quick covers at the beginning of the match, they can sometimes catch you off guard.
They can catch you off guard, they can wear you down, and it's a psychological thing, it proves a point.
But, you know, both men in this match, I think they're equally, you could say they're equally matched. I mean, you could give probably the edge to Stu, being now a two-time Cruiserweight champion at this point. But I still say you can't put any doubt that Frank Hale is one of our top prospects here in dropkicks, and once he gets that focus, once he gets that drive, I firmly believe he could be a champion here in dropkicks in 2013.
Quite so.
As he's takes Stu into a headlock.
I think proving a point here. Gets the ratio to Stu, pushing him off. But Frank using his extra strength there.
Where's the momentum he got there off the rope, you see? Oh, into a hip toss, but Frank reversed. So that's
Beautiful use of momentum there.
a nice little cover there. And, Stu's trying to shake himself off now because he now knows that Frank is one step ahead of him at all times. Takes him down, grabs the leg, dragon screw. Nice there. Applying pressure to the ankle. But you see the position there of Stu, he hasn't trapped that foot there, Frank, which cost him a little bit there. But Frank now grabs the leg, grabs it into that heel hook. And you see there, he drags Mountain Stew into the centre of the ring.
Stu locking the arm there and pulling him over.
Nice there, he goes to the cover. Frank kicks out there at 2. I mean, this was quite... Stu, in terms of the Cruiserweight division, is quite an extraordinary competitor. I mean, the only person, he was the inaugural champion, the only person to win the belt twice, won it both times at Brentwood. And so this is... he then to it says that he's the best around. As far as Cruiserweight wrestling goes, at this point, I couldn't see there be anyone better than him. But now Frank Hale takes Stu into the corner, kicking away there. The referee really should be given a 5 count there.
Certainly should be. There we go, it's
I hear
coming.
that. Oh, he's got to be very close because you don't want to end up getting disqualified.
But if you're sitting there paying attention, making use of that count, if he keeps doing this though, he's going to get himself a warning.
I mean, the referee for this one is Mad Dog Richmond. He is known for showing a bit of leniency, but at times, when he wants to apply the rule book, he will. To go back into a cover after that Russian leg sweep, but Frank kicking out once again. Back into the corner, and it takes Frank, but Frank reverses, sending Stu off into the opposite corner. Here we go, the Fantastic Frank Splash! We've seen that done many times, but I think this could be going to, once too many, and it is banging head first off that corner.
You can only do that so many times, and it takes so long to set up.
Now Stu getting some redemption there with those shoulder thrusts. The shoulder thrusts aimed directly at the ribcage. The fans now getting behind Mountain Stew, the Cruiserweight champion of Europe at this point. Clotheslines him down. I don't quite think he got all that clothesline though, you see, because Frank got out of that predicament quite easily, but so look now as both men get back up to their feet. Frank with a cheap little shot there, so a few digs at the back.
Gets him out of it though. Puts the foot into the back. Great weak point at the back.
Of course, I mean he's targeting the weakest areas and he's pinpointing with such accuracy here of someone, and that shows that he's experienced at doing this.
Boot into the ribs.
Now, and maybe trying for a suplex. Yes,
Looks
he is.
like it.
Hooking him up and over.
Beautifully done suplex. Over into a... Stu putting out there though. Still got a 2 count out of it.
I mean, I must say, we are at the moment, I think we have one of the best rosters of wrestlers that we've ever had here at Dropkicks. And these two are showing, when he misses that crossbody, these two are showing.
Oh, Stu goes right the way out the ring on that. That cost him dearly. And that's wood outside the ring, that's not mats out there, that's cold hard wood.
He's back in at the count of 7, just about. But Frank, straight back on the attack. I mean, call him what you may, but that's a good tactic that applied there by Frank. But I think now Frank's got to look for that one move, that one submission that could end this match now, because I think it's clear to all that Stu is hurt.
It is, and it's time to finish this match. Stu not allowing Frank to go in for another splash on him.
I don't think he can get back up. I think people forget that the impact of hitting that corner, is like none other. It's like being, I can only equate it to being in like a car crash. It's that kind of impact, and especially when it's this late in the day. And as Frank again trying to do a suplex, he's working that back. And he reverses it
into a fisherman's suplex. Beautifully done.
perfectly applied.
Stu following him right in, and a bulldog.
We've seen this before from Stu. This is vintage Stu here. And here it comes. The splash.
And Frank's still kicking out.
He kicks out once again, which, you know, is a testament to how tough this competitor is here.
He's got the strength, he's got the stamina, but oh no, he's not allowed.
And what a boot! What a kick! What a kick there! What a kick! That could be it. But no, I don't. Yeah, I think Stu kicks out there. I don't quite know now that Stu knows where he is. We've seen it before in matches where wrestlers take a shot to the head is so devastating, it knocks you out, you know, temporarily. Or, I don't know whether it's a knockout, I don't know whether it's whatever it is, but it hurts.
It's that semi-conscious state where you're running purely on autopilot, and that boot to the face can do that. But Frank's only got so long to take advantage of that.
Of course now. He's chopping away at the chest though. I don't know. It's a smart tactic. As Stu ducks that clothesline,
He wants to go for another big move now.
into a backbreaker. You see there, Stu just couldn't get the momentum coming off the ropes, and now Frank really terrorising that back with those backbreakers. But no, out of nowhere, out absolutely nowhere.
Around the studio.
And that's it.
That's the pin.
What a phenomenal victory here for Mountain Stew. Nobody saw that coming, and those backbreakers I thought had finished it. But out of nowhere, he hits the Mountain Stevias, and he retains the belt.
You get that one moment of clarity in your head, and he just takes advantage of it. At that point, it's not about strength, it's about manoeuvrability, and he put that to his advantage.
What phenomenal victory here from the only two-time DROPKIXX Cruiser Weight champion, Mountain Stew. That was back at 8 for Ilford. And of course, as we know, there was a fantastic, phenomenal 4-way match.
That match coming up. Keep an eye on official DROPKIXX Stew. Also, if you want to see DROPKIXX matches live, check out www.dropkicks.com. I've been the mysterious disembodied voice of wrestling, and at my side, the fabulous Mr. Lucas Jackson.